show you how to use this trackable recipe. Now, following on from the other video of the theory side of it, the pros and cons of using and not using trackable recipes, this is simply a snapshot overview of a trackable recipe that I have generated and built, right? So these trackable recipes are used primarily in new product development and innovations chefing for the very large companies like Pepsi, like Addo Food Group, like all the food production factories or businesses who supply supermarkets. Very, very large companies, and this is exactly how they write their recipes, because it's precise, it's efficient, and it works to out the T, the cost and the wastage of everything. Okay, so why not use this in your restaurant or your bakery or your village pub or wherever you are? So quickly, at the bottom you'll see these tabs. Okay, and the first one is just a list of all of the allergens. I always have a list of the allergens in the first tab of any spreadsheet recipe that I'm writing, just for point of reference, reminder, because there are a lot of them. There's a lot more than you may think, and it's very important to have this information to hand. The second one is your supplier or suppliers listed here. You know, I've not put in names of suppliers here because this is just an example, but we just put the word example there. That's where you write your name of your supplier. So what you need to do is contact your supplier, get them to email you ideally a spreadsheet version of their inventory with their price list. Copy and paste it into here, and there you have your stock list, your ingredients of what you can use and the cost of it. The third tab is the recipe itself, or the benchmark recipe, right? Now, a benchmark recipe is a recipe that you have signed off, that you have come to the conclusion that you're satisfied with it, so that you can start to actually roll it out. In your case, you can start to cook it, you know. But you'll see here that you have your chosen ingredients per recipe, the quantities you need per each recipe and each ingredient, the type of weight unit it is, the unit cost, total unit cost there, and then you've got cost of sales, you've got the number of servings you'll get out of this recipe, which is important to know because that itself will affect the overall financial outcome. As you see, all the numbers change there. And then you've got cost per portion, suggested retail price or selling price, your gross profit in pounds sterling, and your gross profit in percentage. Okay. Now you need to sit down and do this manually by simply making a few tester versions of it and then put it into this format. And then once you've got it in the format in the recipe itself, just stick to it. That's it. That's your benchmark recipe. You don't deviate from it whatsoever. And then this tab here is the equally important cooking method of that recipe. Okay, and this needs to be followed by your staff to the T every single time it's cooked without fail. And this is how you get your consistency of flavor, portion size, costing, aesthetics, smell, flavor, all of it. This is how you do it. Now once you've got your benchmark recipe done, you can copy and paste it if you want to make changes. For example, if you're making a dessert and you think it's a little too sweet, you might want to reduce the amount of sugar, like by 0.23 of a gram. You just need to right click on the tab, click move or copy, click the button here to copy, and then you just need to select it, the same recipe you're copying, click OK, and then you've got the same recipe copied. Okay, it's exactly the same, but what you do with this second recipe rather than changing the original one so you don't have any reference for the future, you save that first recipe and you use the second tab to make the amendment. Alright, so if you want to change, how much, so you're putting 40 grams in now, not 50, see, and it's changed all the sums, it's all formulated for you. That might be the only change you need to make, but if you want to make another change, right click again and copy and paste, and you'll get, this is why it's called trackable recipes, because you can track the progression of the recipes, the dishes themselves, and in a year's time, 6 months time, when you want to go, oh, remember that recipe that we cooked and it was really nice, or it wasn't quite right, but if we made this change it would have been perfect, you can revert back to these trackable recipes for your reference. Okay, in the long run, I can assure you it will make sense. So yeah, then we've got the cooking method, as I've said many times, but this is equally as important. And these recipes have to be followed by all of your staff to the T. If they follow these recipes, everything will come out consistently exactly the same, financially and aesthetically. Like I say, the portion size, the flavors, the taste, the textures, and the colors, and it will completely reinvent the way that the kitchen's operated. I assure you that. But these recipes have to be done seriously. You have to take time over them, and you have to do them for every dish. Once you've wrote them all, saved them all you've got to do is make sure that all the staff follow the recipes. And just one final quick thing. Personally, I don't like staff or anyone seeing financial figures. There's no reason to them. It's not their business. So when you print these off and put them in your recipe folder in the kitchen, don't copy and paste the whole thing. Just copy and paste the bit they need to see, like this. And then the recipe method, it doesn't have any finances on it, so you can just print this off as well by copy and pasting. So copy and paste these two things onto a Word document, print that off, put it in your folder in your kitchen. The spreadsheet's for your business and your accountants, no one else's, and the folder is for the staff. Any questions, please message me, and if you want a copy of this spreadsheet, please email me with the link in the description of this video. Thanks for listening. See you later. Bye-bye.